It's our reality, just your average family, trying to be normal and stay out of trouble, living a double life.
What's up? Today we got Thunderman Season 2, Episode 8, Cheer in Present Danger. This episode starts off at Himmelville High, where we see Cherry and Phoebe are trying out for the cheerleading squad. Cheerleading tryout. Phoebe says she's hyper nervous and excited. She's hyper nervous excited. Cherry says she is too, but there's been some serious competition. Then we see a girl leave the area. Phoebe says, yeah, but that girl thinks she can do this? Cherry says she's gone. Phoebe says she can put her leg down now. Phoebe says she can't. She's never done this before, so Cherry helps her put her leg down. Phoebe says she really hopes they make the squad. Cherry says Cherry says she really hopes they make the squad. Phoebe says they will. But the best part is that they'll be there together. Madison and Maddie from the last episode, never thought we'd see Maddie from Blue Detective make her second appearance in this episode. But the weird thing is that she only gets one line of the entire episode. She's basically, Maddie, who was Max's date in the last episode, is kind of just a background character in this episode. Which is weird because she had so much good development in the last episode. Yeah, Madison and Maddie tell Phoebe and Cherry that they're up. Who wants to go first? But Phoebe says, can't they do it together at the same time? Madison calls a cheer chat and says that they will allow them to do it together, but it better be twice as good. Phoebe and Cherry says, oh yeah, we're here. Get ready for some awesome cheer. Our moves are nifty. Our moves are nifty. Face looks all Taylor Swifty. Okay, writers, we get it. This came out in 2014. We get you had to make a Taylor Swift joke at some point. We can rhyme. We can rhyme. We gotta shake it all. I gotta call. I gotta take it. Oh, hey, Phoebe, what's up? Oh, hey, Phoebe, what's up? What are you doing? Just doing some cheer practicing. Oh, you want to take some wood chop? Because we're nailing it. She's Cherry. She's Phoebe. Vegans don't eat meat or dairy. Gotta go. We've had fun. Drop our pom-poms. This cheer is done. Madison says, nice job. Just gotta give them a moment to make their decision. Cherry says, Phoebe, they did great. Phoebe says, so did Cherry. She told them what they make together. Madison says, she and the Raptorettes have made their decision. Cherry, welcome to the squad. Phoebe, better luck next year. Better luck next time. Then the woodshop teacher comes up, literally asking Phoebe if the joke that she meant of making woodshop was actually legit. If she really wanted to join woodshop. Phoebe's like, no. After the opening, in the B plot, because this is the first episode to start off with the B plot before the A plot. In the B plot, at Wong's Pizza Palace, Mrs. Wong, yay, she's back, is taking everyone's money. Max asks Lionel from episode 3, Jake and Tom are nowhere in this scene, and this is the last time we'll ever see Lionel again in this show. So, what was the point of bringing him here? I guess it was for him to tell Max. Max tells Lionel what's going on, and again, we never see Lionel again after this scene, or in the show ever again. Lionel says, guess how many pepperoni slices in a jar, and they win a free pizza. Lionel says, this is the day his life changes. Lionel, the last time you were seen, you became a prank king. Then you were sent to detention. How is this the moment, you doing this, the moment your life changes? You were a prank, you were the prank king of Himmelville High the last time we saw you. And so were Jake and Tom. So how's this, I know this is Lionel's final appearance on the show, but how is this the thing that his life changes for? He was a prank king. Yeah. Then Then Mrs. Wong says, "Any more suckaronis?" Max volunteers, and Mrs. Wong says, "Hello, Max. I guess security at juvies pretty loose these days." Oh my, Mrs. Wong, you are great. You are a great character. Please don't change in the reboot movie. Please don't. I'm excited to watch that when I get to it. But please, keep Mrs. Wong the same. That's because she's hilarious. Max gives her his money and his gas. Mrs. Wong reveals the number as 303.167, and Max says he got the right number and wins a free pizza for a month. Mrs. Wong says Max cheated, but Max says he didn't cheat. He's just a good guesser, and she owes him owes him a month's free zone leave. In the A plot, Cherry says that she's been looking for Phoebe everywhere. Yeah, Phoebe has been trying to open up a vending machine, but she can't because it's Phoebe. It's not. Yeah, Phoebe said she figured Cherry would eat lunch with the cheerleader. Phoebe says she always eats lunch with Phoebe. She's her best friend. Besides, she can't tell who is who. She thinks all three of them are named Madison. Cherry says she's really sorry that Phoebe didn't make the squad. And also, here's the running joke of the episode. Phoebe can't say congratulations. It's one of the worst running jokes ever because they ruin it. Phoebe can't say congratulations. She says congratulate. Yay. And then they continue with this joke. It gets really annoying. It gets really stale. And they still continue with it. Yeah. She says, yeah. And then she says, she says, "Are you trying to say congratulations?" And she says, "No, I'm trying to say congratulate." That word. And then Cherry says, "If you can, when she can say that word, let her know." And Cherry goes to leave to have lunch with cheerleaders. Meanwhile, in B plot 2, yeah, there's 3 plots in this episode. There's one plot about Phoebe and Cherry. The second plot is about Max, and the third plot is about what we're about to talk about. I think it's the only episode that has 3 plots in one singular episode. Meanwhile, in B plot 2 at the Thunder House, we see Nora telling Hank and Barb how they always wanted a cat. Hank and Barb say no, but Nora says look no further with Billy bringing in a cat. Barb says, "Where'd you get that cat from?" And Billy says, "I'm on my cat. You're supposed to know this stuff." Nora says, "I found it in the alley. Not the alley, that's in the backyard." What was I thinking about? They named him Roscoe. Billy says, "Can they keep him?" And Barb says, "No, kids. That's a wild cat. That's a wild cat." And Billy says, "Yeah, he's a wild cat. He eats fireflies and poops, and his poop lights up." That never works for Billy. Hank says, "No, take him back outside and nobody feed him or he'll keep coming back." Nora says, "Come on, Barb. Look at Roscoe's face. Look Roscoe in the eye and tell him he can't live here." So Barb looks him in the eyes. And tells him he can't live here, which was kind of funny. Yeah, they leave. Then Max shows up saying, "You're welcome." Barb and Hank say, "Uh-oh." Then Max says he has great news because he won Mrs. Wong's contest and he got them all free pizza for a month. Hank calls Max his new favorite kid, and the thunderman alerts them to an angry Wong approaching. Max says cheesy goodness approaches. Mrs. Wong delivers them fish head pizza. It's the only pizza they'll get until Max admits that he cheated at her contest. I still do a very good Mrs. Wong impression. Max says he told her he didn't cheat. Mrs. Wong says, "Really? Well then, get ready for a fish head tsunami. Long out!" Barb asks Max if he cheated at the contest. Max says no, he's just a really good guesser. And now he's guessing his lair smells a whole lot better than this place. Leaving. Meanwhile, in the A plot, Phoebe goes to join the musical harmony club. They're just doing it, and they're just starting that club so they can get out of gym. Phoebe overhears the Madison and the other cheer team in the cheer team coming up with a plan to drop a big egg full of goo on Cherry's head. So Phoebe uses her telekinesis to make Maddie's pom-pom hit Madison's face. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Barb says that she can't take all the fish head pizza smell, and Nora says maybe Barb should stop fanning the fish smell with a box of fish pizza. Hanks opens the pizza box to see that it's just a fish head pizza. It's just the fish head pizza has just fish heads, not the pizza. Barb says, why does Hank keep accepting the deliveries? Hank says, hope, Barb. Max comes in to tell him. Max tells everyone to hang in there because one can't keep it up forever. Billy says, fly, 3 o'clock, and Nora lasers it. Okay, show. And yeah. And Barb says, this place is officially a 4-bedroom dumpster. Barb says, Max, just tell Mrs. Wong he cheated. Max says, they think that's what happened. Hank says, well, Max says, does any of them think he won fair and square? They try to avoid the question, and Billy says, this is awkward. Max says he gets it. Max is always trying to fool them with his perfect hair and confident swagger. Max says, so he must have cheated. Hank says, can he blame them for thinking that? Max is kind of a supervillain. Max says, kinda? He can melt the North Pole with one push of his cell phone. But he did not cheat on this pizza contest, okay? Billy says, it got a little awkward. Max says, thanks for having my back, family. Then Billy and Nora see Ross go outside hungry and Nora tells Billy to follow her. And and Nora says, they're just going outside to get rid of the boxes. To get rid of the boxes. To get rid of the box. Yeah, to get rid of the pizza boxes. And Billy says they're not giving them to a cat if they think that's for sure. Meanwhile, in the A plot, trained cheerleaders are leaving from cheerleading practice when Phoebe tells Cherry that she overheard the Madisons are gonna plan to drop a goo egg on her head. Cherry says, I can't believe it, and Phoebe says, yeah, now you can quit the cheers, which is totally where I got the background scene from, because I could not find any other scene for the background of this video, so I just chose this one but anyway, aside from that, Cherry says she can't believe it, and Phoebe says, well, now she can quit the cheer squad and they can go find another activity, another club, except for the musical harmony club. But Cherry actually says she actually couldn't believe that Phoebe will make up such a thing to make her quit the cheerleading squad. Yeah, this is the part I don't like about this episode. I don't like the one thing I can say. I don't like plots where the writers just come with. I don't like plots where it's like the main character tries to tell the other character something, but the other character doesn't believe them, so the main character has to show them that they were right. I don't like those type of episodes. Those type of episodes just feel lazy and show the writers are running out of ideas. This is one of those episodes where they do Cherry doesn't believe Phoebe, so they break up their friendship over the fact that Cherry believes Phoebe is jealous over the fact that she got into the cheer squad and not her. This is my second time watching this episode, and I gotta say, I do not like this one. It has to be one of the worst episodes of season 2 so far, and the only thing that saves this episode is Mrs. Wong. She's the only thing that makes this episode not bad. So, I'm just saying, I'm not a big fan of this one. You guys could be, you audience members could say, oh, you guys were a fan of this episode. I'm just not, because I just don't like tropes I just don't like plots where they do the tropey, best friend doesn't second character doesn't believe the main character. Those type of episodes are just not my favorite. And this is one of these episodes. So I don't like this episode. But I do like reviewing it. But I just don't like the episode in general. Anyway, yeah. So Cherry thinks that Phoebe is trying to make up a story to get her to quit the team. Phoebe says that's not what she's doing, and Cherry says just admit she's super jelly, which is super jelly that Cherry made the cheerleading squad instead of Phoebe. Phoebe says she's not super jelly. She's just trying to stop Cherry from being humiliated from the entire school. Cherry says, why can't Phoebe be happy for her like a real friend? Phoebe says, you're saying I'm not a real friend? And Cherry says, oh yeah, I am. Says, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Then Cherry and Phoebe start returning all the stuff they gave to each other from their lockers. Even her racket, which Cherry thinks is a snowball racket. Or whatever she called it, because she thinks a tennis ball is a snowball. I was praising this show for saying, wow, Cherry is not dumb like is not that dumb than her season 1 self. But this episode proves it. Cherry is still not smart yet. Come on, show. I thought you were proving me wrong that Cherry was smart. So yeah. So they start returning their stuff from their lockers. Then they start deleting the photos of their great time. Wait. Then Phoebe deletes. So then they get into a fight over Then they start deleting the photos of their great times together. Then Cherry deletes Phoebe's phone number and angrily leaves. So Phoebe sadly deletes Cherry's phone number. Meanwhile, in the B plot, in Max's lair, Max tells Hank and Barb that he's gonna take this lie detector test to show them that he wasn't lying about cheating on Mrs. Wong's contact. Hank says, Max this again, and Max says he doesn't want to make them think that he cheated. Clausen asks Max if he cheated, and the butler didn't, meaning that he was telling the truth. Barb tries on Hank. Asking him if she looks good in this top she's wearing. Hank says yes, but the butler buzzes, meaning that he's lying. But to really, Clausen was controlling, making Hank and Max's answers. Clausen says that Max cheated. Isn't that what the whole scam was? And Max says no, it was to prove he didn't cheat. And everyone in the house thinks he cheated, and Max leaves. Meanwhile, in the A plot, Phoebe comes home to Barb telling her that Cherry dropped off a box of Phoebe's stuff and a note with nothing on it, because Cherry is not talking to Phoebe. Phoebe tells Barb about how Cherry got on the cheerleading squad. Phoebe didn't, and then she overheard the Madisons were going to pull a prank on Cherry, but Cherry didn't believe her and thinks that Phoebe's jealous. Barb asks, is she? Phoebe says no. She even told her Stop it. This joke is too... Anyway. What the kids are saying these days. Barb says, even now and then, she has a little jealous streak. Barb says, remember that Max? And Phoebe says, oh, Max does this, Max does that. Barb knows Phoebe does things too. Then Phoebe realizes, yeah, that's the jealous streak Barb was talking about. Phoebe says if she had said congratulations, she would still have a friend. Barb says Cherry is still Phoebe's friend. Phoebe says she's not going to let Cherry get egged on by a pack of Madisons. Meanwhile, in the B plot too, because Billy and Nora are giving fish heads to pizza to Roscoe, but then that attracts 2 more cats. Meanwhile, in the A plot, Principal Bradford, who this is his 2nd appearance out of his 4 appearances in this season, says, welcome everyone to the Hiddenville High prep rally. Cherry runs in asking Madison on why she's in the Rousers uniform. Madison says, that's the point, Cherry. At the end of the routine, they're going to embrace her with a symbolic gesture of friendship. among the school, and friendship, peace, gesture of peace and friendship among school. Cherry says, so she's like the star, and Madison says, trust her, everyone will be looking at Cherry. Meanwhile, Phoebe is sneaking around, and she sees the big egg that Madison will drop on Cherry's head, and takes it, but first she has to get into a fight with the school's raptor mascot over it. Now on the B plot, Hank and Bob are getting sick of the smell when the thunderman alerts them to more fish pizza. Mrs. Wong shows up, and Hank tells Mrs. Wong to stop delivering pizzas. She made her point. Mrs. Wong says she'll stop the deliveries and take the pizzas away. As long as Max says he cheated, he cheated. They decide to eat the fish head pizzas and say they believe Max. Mrs. Wong says she's got 500 boxes of skunk butt pizzas with their names on it. Still very good Mrs. Wong impression. So Max decides to tell Mrs. Wong that he cheated, and he writes that he cheated on a pizza bomb. So Mrs. Wong says she always wins, and she's gonna put his name in her shop so everyone knows knows Max's shame. Wong out. Hank asks Max why he did that. Then Max presses a button and presses his pen, causing ink to explode on Mrs. Wong. Max says he's a supervillain. Max says he didn't cheat, but he is a supervillain. Then Mrs. Wong comes back with exploding ink all over her face, saying they can call it a draw. Max says deal and closes the door. Then he presses his presses his pen again, causing ink to explode on Mrs. Wong again, and Mrs. Wong is like, come on! Max says super villain. Meanwhile, on the B plot 2, Nora and Billy are bringing the last of the fish head pizzas to the cat, to only discover more cats came. Meanwhile, on the A plot, the cheerleaders are doing their cheers when the raptor comes in with the big egg and dumps that big egg of goo on Madison's head. Madison said it was supposed to be for Cherry. Why do they cheer chats when nobody listens? Then the raptor reveals itself as Phoebe, and she says she listened. Cherry says she should have believed Phoebe. The Madisons leave, and Cherry says she should have believed Phoebe. Phoebe says she should have been a better friend. And Phoebe congratulates Cherry. Madison says Cherry and Phoebe ruined the pep rally. What do they have to say for each other? Say who they think they are. Then they start doing the she's Cherry, she's Phoebes, the Madisons are major dweebs, gotta go, we have fun, drop the pom-poms, we are done. Meanwhile, the Thunder House, I guess that means Cherry quit that cheerleading squad off screen. Meanwhile, at the Thunder House, Hank says Billy and Nora did a good job taking out those pizzas. Nora says he knows them, they lived clean. Then they hear cat sounds, and Barb says, is that Roscoe? And Billy says, hard to say. Meanwhile, so Hank says maybe they're rough on him and they'll take him out some milk. But then he goes outside to see all those cats, and they attack him. Phoebe said, for some reason Max is able to look at cats despite him being allergic, and despite Phoebe being allergic. Phoebe says they gotta meet 100 cats, and Max says there's 128 cats out there. And Phoebe looks at him weirdly, and Max says, what can you say? It's a gift. And then we see Hank is still being attacked by cats to end the episode. Okay? Terrible episode. Just terrible. Mrs. Wong only saved the episode, but still, it's a bad episode. First bad episode of season 2. Can the show get better from here? Let's see. Or can it get worse, like this episode? Let's see.